So I'm just going to jump right in with my Hicks edges. So before I do my makeup, I typically lay my edges first. Sometimes I do lay them last, but if I know it's going to take me a while and I really need my edges to lay, I'll go ahead and lay my edges down, and I will definitely tie that and make sure that it's good. I sometimes use a bigger brush, but then I do also use the smaller kind of toothbrush style brushes, but I don't actually use the toothbrush anymore because sometimes it goes kind of weird. But once I get the edges to where I want them to lay, or as close as possible to where I want them to lay, I just actually go ahead, sometimes alternate between the brushes just to make sure I kind of get the desired look. I'm not like an edge artist like some people are, so I just, I do what I can. And then what I am going to do is take my scarf, and that's one of the crazy things about doing a voiceover. You never really know when that part is coming. So then now I'm going to take my scarf, and I am going to tie it, a silk scarf, tie it around my hair. But I'm going to make sure I don't get in the way of the areas where I'll be putting my makeup. And once I have it where I want it, I'm going to secure it with a tie knot in the front. And once that knot is secured in the front, what I'm going to do is take my little turban. I don't even know what you call it. It's like a little makeup band. And I'm going to put it over my scarf just to give me a little extra security. And once that is done, I'm going to start prepping my face. I'm going to use the Clinique Moisture Surge moisturizer all over my face and just get to moisturizing my face. So you're going to see in a second, it's going to look crazy. At the end of the video, I'm going to change. This was my kind of makeup look for work for graduation. So then I'm going to go into the Primerizer by Smashbox. And I'm also going to use the Benefit Porefessional on my forehead and my nose because it gets super oily around my lady time. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And then I'm gonna just take that primerizer and put it in all the spots I did not put the Porefessional, and just rub that in and let it soak into my face. So then once all of that is done, I am going to take, first shaking it, I'm going to take my Fenty Beauty Pro Filter foundation in the color 360. I'm going to take a damp beauty blender, and I'm just going to blend this right into my skin and just make sure I get. So I'm just going to keep blending that in, and then I realized I actually wanted to put a little bit of my Maybelline Fit Me in the color, my Fit Me Dewy and Smooth in the color Coconut. So I'm just going to kind of blend the two. That way I have a little bit of hydration going in with that foundation. And also just a little bit of color, because that 360 sometimes can be a little light for your girl's face. So I'm just going to go ahead and dab that all over. Do a little dab so you guys can see that. And I did the kind of matte because, like I said, and during this part I was heading to work, to graduation, college graduation for our students. Yeah, so that's kind of what was going on there. And then here I'm just going to mix a little bit more of that to put on my forehead, which is what you're going to see me doing here. But I wanted kind of like a matte foundation that will last all day, because if you're going to prom, you want something that's going to last all night, that's going to be sweat proof. But you also want something that's going to look right on your skin tone and on your texture. So sometimes you do have to mix a foundation to get the right color or to get the right texture. So then what I'm going to do is go into my Tarte Shape Tape. I'm going to use the color Tan and just go ahead and blend that all the way in and put it in the different spots that I want to bring highlight to. And once I have those areas taken care of, I am just going to go ahead and blend it in and make sure I blend it well, because the Tarte Shape Tape is definitely full coverage. And I know Tarte is canceled, but at the same time, my wallet is not canceled. I already had these on deck, so it was kind of like, gotta use them, gotta make sure to use them all up at this point. Don't want to be wasteful, so that's what you're going to see me doing right now, is just going ahead and blotting and dabbing that all the way out like so. And like I said, with this concealer, you really want to blend it, especially when you're dealing with like kind of full coverage matte type of concealers. You want to blend it as much as you possibly can. So that's what you're going to see me doing there. And then I decided I wanted a little bit brighter under my eyes. So I went in with the medium color. And I'm just going to dab that under my eye. Focus mainly under my eye with that. And that's what you're going to see me doing here. And again, just making sure to really blend. This beauty blender is damp. And really being sure to blend it in as good as possible. So that, you know, there's no streaks, there's no residue. It's just really blended in. And then what I'm going to do is go into the Black Radiance True Complexion Cream Contour Kit. And I'm just going to use my MAC flat brush to kind of bring some shadow into my face, some darkness with that color. And you're just going to see me continue to do this, like you see me doing here. And that's what you're going to see me doing. Just contouring all of those areas. And sorry that the video is so sped up. It was so much content because originally I was going to do my hair too, but clearly just didn't really have the time to make that happen. I'm just using a stippling brush, my BH Cosmetics. Then I'm just going to go over everything with my beauty blender just to, you know, kind of give it more of a natural finish, natural look. So then what I'm going to do is take my Laura Mercier setting powder and just set all those areas where I put the concealer. So that's what you're going to see me do now. It's just, and that's with a damp beauty blender. It's not a dry one. It's damp, just making sure that really goes into the skin, like so. And really get those areas. And I'm especially going to get that forehead because, like I said, during this time of the month, my forehead be so greasy, and I feel like it still was a little slightly greasy, but that's just because it's just so much oil, and I'm not an oily skinned girl, and so it always, you know, kind of catches me off guard when that time of the month comes. Then I'm just going to take that powder brush and just kind of get everything off, all that powder. And then I'm going to take my Raye times BH Cosmetics palette, and I'm going to take that mocha color, and I'm going to take my BH Cosmetics vegan contour brush, and I'm just going to put a powder contour to set all of those areas that I used the cream contour to contour earlier. So that's what you're going to see me doing here. And I usually use like the bigger brush to kind of put the color there. And I blend it a little bit, but then to like really blend it, I use my MAC kind of fluffy contour brush to kind of really blend all of that in and make sure it really looks defined, but it's blended more than anything. Then in regards to my nose contour, I'm just going to use one of my e.l.f. Shadow brushes that I use for my nose contour to kind of set it. And then to kind of blend it, I'm going to take a contour brush and blend that out. And then lastly, I have like a fluffy brush to blend it, you know, and I really try to just get the nose blended because it looks really weird when it's not. And so then I just finally just use my fingers. They're clean. Might as well go for it. So then I'm going to use MAC Fix Plus and just spray my entire face just to add some moisture, not to set it. And then what I'm going to do is take that damp beauty blender and just blend all of that moisture into my skin. Then I'm going to take the NYX Dewy Setting Spray and I'm just going to set my entire face just like that. And then what is going to happen next is I'm going to take my Urban Decay All Nighter spray and just set it. Because again, like I said, I'm about to run to graduation and I will be coming back. But first I'm going to do my my highlight. So for the highlight, I combined the Moonlight and the Radiant color together. So it's like the yellow and the gold to kind of get a really golden color. And I think I really went ham, but it was cool. It was popping in person. But right here, I feel like I look like a little glazed donut, a little glazed chocolate French croissant. Can I have your number? Y'all remember that? Mad TV skit. But yeah, that's what I feel like I looked like. But in person, it was really popping. But like, of course, right here, it looks way too harsh. But you'll see kind of what I do to tone it down. So to tone it down, I'm going to take that sponge, the butt end, and I'm just going to kind of blend it into the skin so it looks like more of a natural finish. Put a little bit on my chin, and now is where you're going to see me flip. So now it's after graduation and I'm ready to do my eyes. So to do my eyes, I am going to take that Tarte Shape Tape concealer, use that as a base. I'm going to use the medium color since it is a little bit lighter, and I really don't use as much of that anymore, but I still have it and I'm really trying to use it up. So I'm going to use that as a eyeshadow primer, and then to set it, I am going to use that Laura Mercier and that powder brush. And then I'm going to go into that kind of light brown color. I can't think of the name right now, and I don't have it on me. I'll put it below later. I'm going to go into that. It's like a light brown, and that's just going to be like kind of the transition shade, the initial shade. Then I'm going to go into the color next to it, which is Mousse, which is like a dark brown, and well, it's like a medium brown. And I'm just going to blend that in and kind of focus more in the center. So then what you're going to see me do is take this kind of brown black called Midnight, and I'm just going to put that in my inner V, which is what you're going to see me do here. And I just really want to make sure I blend that out really good, but still make sure it's defined. And then I'm just going to go back over with that fluffy MAC brush to just blend everything in. So then I'm going to take my Urban Decay eyeshadow potion, and I'm going to use this to cut my crease instead of concealer, just because I have it. So I figured, why not? Let's make this really go overboard. Let's make it pop. So that's what I'm going to do, is really just, quickly cut that crease. And then what I'm going to do is to fill it in, I'm going to wind up using the NYX pigments in gold, and I'm just going to put that right where I put that eyeshadow primer. But first I'm going to wet my brush with the MAC Fix Plus, and then I'm just going to put that right over with, this is one of my old Urban Decay brushes for one of my palettes, from the Naked palette to be exact. Then I'm just going to take that same brush and just really make sure to blend that over that. And then just my fluffy brush to blend it all out again. And then what you're going to see me do is take my NYX glitter liner in gold. And I'm just going to go from the start of where I cut the crease until about maybe like a fourth away from the end to where that smoke kind of starts, just to give it another dimension. I don't really have to do that because it's really beautiful without, but I just wanted to do the most and do a little bit more extra. So then I'm going to let it dry, and once I let it dry, you'll see I'm going to use my e.l.f. my e.l.f. gel liner and just tight line that bottom line, which is what you're going to see me doing here. And once that is tight lined, what I am going to do next is I'm going to just kind of clean up if I got too much on there, which is what I did. Then I'm going to go into my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and I am just going to lightly coat just one time my lashes before I put on my lashes. And the lashes I'm using are the Vegas Nay times Eylure, collaboration. And these are in Grand Glamour. I'm just going to look down and put these on to the best of my ability. And once they are on, I kind of use my hands a little bit more, just because I feel like they can kind of really grip where I need the lash to go. And lately, my inner corner has been really giving me some trouble. And these lashes I've worn before. So I think sometimes, like that first time after you've worn them and you wear them again, they're kind of like not how you want them to be. But I feel like that third time. So next time I wear these, it's really just going to pop on and they just going to flow the way I want them to flow. And then I just kind of put, I kind of fluff them up with my hands, like bow. So when they are how I want them to be, I am going to take that mascara, and I am simply going to put them both together. So after that, I'm going to go back into that midnight color and just smudge it a little bit under my lower lash line. And then I'm going to take that Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and I am going to do my lower lashes. Then what you are going to see me do next is just give my face another spray with that all-nighter spray, because by now it's been some time. So then what I'm going to do in my inner tear duct is I'm going to use that color Allison, but first I had sprayed it with my MAC Fix Plus. And then I'm going to line my lips with one of my favorite liners, which is the Colourpop times Karruche K pencil, which is a nice little brown pencil. And then once I've got that together, I'm going to go into the Colourpop times It's My Raye Stingraye and do my lips with that. And then lastly, I'm going to take the NYX metallic gold color in Celestial. It's like a lip cream. I'm going to put that in the center just to give it an inner glow. And that is the